Hi Year 4, and seeming as it's Friday, we are going to do something a bit like we've done for the last few weeks where we've had a science experiment. We're going to do something a little bit different and practical, and if you would like to, we're going to do some cooking today. So what we're going to make are Roman honey cakes, and this is a recipe that would have been used in Roman times to make cakes so they could have a sweet treat. And as it says, they're going to include honey, and it's going to be cake. This is what it will look like. So as you can see, pretty normal looking cake, but covered in honey. So Romans would have used a type of flour which is called spelt flour. So if you'd like to make the recipe like the Romans would have done, you could use it. So you can get it in the supermarkets. It's probably one of the flours that you can get at the moment because not many people will bake with it. It's got a slightly different texture to the flour that we use. But if you only have white flour in your house, white self-raising flour, then use that and don't worry about it, because the Romans would have sold their grandmother to have flour as white as ours is today. So you will need 3 eggs, 200 grams of honey, and make sure the honey needs to be runny honey. And you need 50 grams of spelt flour or 50 grams of white self-raising flour. Okay, so here's the instructions. So the first thing that you need to do is start the oven heating up. So you need to put it at 160 degrees, and you need to get your baking tin ready. So it's just one of the round sandwich tins if you have one of those. Then you need to break the eggs into a bowl, all 3 of them, and you need to beat them well because you've got to get lots and lots of air bubbles in. If you've got an electric mixer, that will save your arm muscles, but if you haven't, get mixing with your arm. Third step, pour in the honey a little at the time, and you'll notice as you're whisking and you add the honey, the mixture will begin to thicken. You're using the honey instead of sugar because they wouldn't have sugar in the way that we have it today, caster sugar. Okay, so step number 4. So you're going to sift in the flour. That means you're going to use a sieve and you're going to put the flour through the sieve. As you do that, it puts a bit of air in as it's dropping down, and it makes sure there's no lumps in. And you're going to fold it in gently. So you're not going to be whisking now. You're going to be gently, either with a spoon, mixing it in, or if you're doing it in the mixer on the lowest speed, because you want to keep all the air in that you've been working on where you've been beating those eggs. Once you've mixed it in and the flour's all nicely mixed in, you are going to pour the mixture into the cake tin and you're going to get ready to bake it in the oven. So make sure you've got your oven gloves on. Make sure you have an adult with you when you open the oven because it will be hot, and put the cake into the oven. After 45 minutes, you're going to check, but don't open the oven door before then. Otherwise, when you let the air go in, it can make your cake fall, which means it'll sag in the middle. So wait the 45 minutes. Don't be tempted to open the door. After the 45 minutes, the cake should be ready, and it will be a dark brown colour because of the honey that's in the cake. And it should be fully done by 55 minutes, but you can check. So between 45 and 55 minutes, it'll be done. And if you poke it with a toothpick or something sharp and you pull it out and it's got no bits of cake stuck in it, then you know that it's ready. Once you get to this point, remove it from the oven with your oven gloves. Let it cool for about 10 minutes in the tin, because if you take it straight out, the cake could collapse. After the 10 minutes, remove it from the tin and place it on the rack so that it can cool a little bit. And the Romans would have served the cake warm, and they would have drizzled honey on the top. If you do make this, I would love to see your pictures of it or videos of it. I've really loved watching your science experiments that you've done over the last couple of weeks. They've been fantastic. So send me whatever you do, because I do love to see what you've been up to, and enjoy.